Hello, hello, welcome back to the island. My name is Donald, aka the Scruffy Looking Gamer, and Wicked Prophecy is upon us. Today we're getting a look at a few cards to kick off the spoiler season. Alright, today we are starting with Adriel, Archaic Aspirant. Adriel is a returning character, but he was a lot smaller in Genesis. He is now a 12, 13, a pretty large, 5 total soul cost. He does a lot of stuff, so let's break it down. He has Tenacious, so he's got to be blocked by at least 2 citizens. And when he's blocked, you draw 1, then probe 1 for each citizen blocking. So in other words, if they block with 2, which is the minimum, then you're going to draw 1, then you can probe 1, then you can draw 1, then you can probe 1. So you're going to look at 4 cards total if you do the probes, because probe's optional. That's a lot. That's a lot of cards to look at. I mean, I doubt that they're going to block with more than 2. It depends on if they have, like, if they just really want to kill him, and then they've got to do it with a total of 3 citizens to do that. I mean, and if they're blocking with 3 citizens, you're killing most of them probably with 12 power. You're drawing at least 3 cards and possibly probing another 3. That's insane. That is a lot of card advantage. Which white kind of was lacking in card advantage in some instances anyway. The white-blue combination has some card advantage stuff, but white specifically, if you're trying to run mono white or if you're trying to do white green, white black, they really need some card draw, and this is pretty good card draw. Other ability too, there's more to this. So short time 3, when it destroys an 11-year card, you can cast a citizen with total soul cost of 4 or less from your hand without paying its soul cost. That ability is pretty similar to something we've seen before. Charlie, she did a very similar thing where when you destroy an 11-year card, you could cast any card from your hand without paying its soul cost. So it could have been a spell, it could be any soul cost, it didn't matter. And it didn't have to be short time restrictive. But Charlie didn't get a lot of play. I mean, that's a strong ability, but at 6 mana, 6 soul cost, not mana, at 6 soul cost, that's a lot to put a citizen down on turn 6 and then pass the turn and hope she's still alive on the next turn to attack to get that ability. Now, if you are getting that ability, then great. You're probably doing really good things and you're going to be ahead. A lot of people that chose to try and make Charlie work would pair her with Ferocious Ranks. So turn 2, if she's in your soul row, you are possibly flipping her out of your soul row with Ferocious Ranks, putting her on the island with Eager. She's attacking, you're getting that trigger. She's going to go back to your soul row if she stays alive, but whatever you cast off of her is staying, which was a pretty good interaction, but it's so hard to make that work. You can't guarantee that she gets in your soul row, and there's only 3 copies out of, if you're running the minimum of 40 cards, 3 out of 40, it's not great odds that that's going to happen. But Adriel's kind of another copy of Charlie, so if you really want to go that route, that kind of doubles the chances that one of these 2 is in your soul row, and that Ferocious Ranks combo might work. I don't know. We'll have to see. He is 1 soul cost less than Charlie, but still, casting on turn 5 and asking for it to survive an entire turn, that's a lot. But let's say it does. Say you get to attack and they decide not to block because they don't want you drawing a million cards. Then you destroy your 11-year card. What are you doing with 4 or less? Best thing I could come up with, cast a Fiona. Put Fiona right into play. She doesn't get to attack right away, but she is a must answer for your opponent, especially if they're playing any kind of like mid-range or control style deck, they're not going to want you pushing their cards back into their 11-year row. They're really banking on keeping those on board. So I don't know. I think Adriel paired with Fiona and maybe some green white probe draw shenanigans might be a thing. We are confirmed getting a green white our citizen, what's that called? Faction, green white faction in this set. So maybe there's some green white shenanigans that can go on. We'll have to see what Adriel can do. But overall, I mean, it's a common. So if it's that strong as a common, then what are the rares and nobles going to look like in this set? That's my question. But moving on, speaking of the green-white faction, the Drurak citizens, we have this citizen that was spoiled, Kirby. She is 3 hybrid green or white, a 7/9, and you can engage her to attach a citizen from your limbo pile to a citizen you control, or detach 2 citizens to draw 1 card. So, what is attach? Your guess is as good as mine. This is a full art, so it doesn't have reminder text on it. And as far as I know, we have no idea what attach means yet. I have some speculation what that could be, but who knows? If you're familiar with Magic, there's the mutate mechanic, where you basically would put another creature on top of one that was already on the battlefield or the island, and they would kind of gain the abilities the same. They would have the abilities of both cards, but you chose which one you used for power and toughness. Maybe that's what attach is. Who knows? We'll have to wait for something else to figure out what that means. So let me know what you think attach does, because I really have no clue at this point. Next, we have kind of a double spoiler here. So we got this shot from Tanner showing off the new Tojo, the story collector. But it's what's underneath Tojo that really was interesting to me. So we'll talk about Tojo in a second. But if you look at that card underneath, it has a blue-black hybrid soul cost symbol. We currently have no blue-black faction. So are we getting a new faction as well as the green-white faction that's blue-black? Does something just inherently tap for blue-black that's not in a new faction? Don't know. But we do know that there is at least one blue-black hybrid soul stone cost in this set, which is pretty cool if you ask me. But let's talk about Tojo. So Tojo is a 3/3 with sidestep. He costs 1 black soul energy. And if it would be put directly from your deck into your limbo pile, you may cast it immediately for 0. So a free spell, always pretty good. The fact that he has sidestep, really good. If you can manipulate this to get in your soul row on turn 1, then you're casting it for free, and then turn 2 you're attacking with a sidestep. It's going to be pretty hard to deal with for your opponent. So I really like that ability. I think it's going to combo well with things like Juno. Juno, when it enters the island, you can put the top 2 cards of your deck into your limbo pile. So turn 1, you're playing Juno, you're looking to hit Tojo in those first 2 cards. If you do, you're passing or you're playing him and then passing on turn 2. You've got 2 citizens that can attack. One's a 3/5, which can attack through most things on turn 1, and the other having sidestep, which is pretty much unblockable at that point. That's pretty aggressive play. I like that. Another really strong possibility is Boneyard Survey. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck, place 2 of them into your limbo pile and 1 in your hand. So you're looking at 3 cards, you're looking at 1 more card than Juno, and you're getting to decide which 2. So it's really, draw a card, possibly if you get a Tojo in those 3, playing a citizen for free. I mean, that's a lot of value on turn 1. So Boneyard Survey into new Tojo, pretty sweet play. I definitely will be trying something along these lines of a more aggressive green black undead-ish aggressive deck. I think that that they were kind of almost there anyway in Genesis, but now I think we'll get some more tools to play with that will push them a little bit further in that direction. We also got an art spoiler, and this is one of my favorite citizens from Genesis. Sadly, he is nigh unplayable, but there was just something really cool lore-wise about Fiona and Fionn, 2 of my favorites. So this art depicts Fionn essentially defending against at least 3 other citizens, all from different factions, it looks like. So I'm pretty excited to see, is this a new Fionn card? Is this a spell? What they're going to do with it? But this art is it's sweet. Very, very sweet art. So for reference, this was Fionn from Genesis. 9/9 for 4. Not real great. Steadfast. Yeah. And he gets +1/+1 for every citizen card in your soul row. Now, Ascendants do like to throw citizens and stuff in their soul row, so maybe, but he just didn't really get there for me. But I'm really excited. This art makes him, look like a pretty big badass. So yeah, let's hope that the card follows up with that same energy there. So that's all we got today so far for spoilers. I guess today officially kicks off spoiler season, so we're hoping to see a lot more cards in the coming days and weeks. We're supposed to hear what the official release date is for Wicked Prophecy sometime soon, so stay tuned. We'll be posting more videos and talking about these new cards. Until next time, see you on the island.